So you have an Alien sequel for me, you handsome devil? I certainly do, you beautiful bastard. Those last two sure made us a ton of money. Well, with such ingeniously simplistic titles, it's hard for someone not to see them. Agreed, with the first one being so creepily blunt and vague. Yeah. And the sequel just adding one letter to the title, instantly making it more terrifying. Exactly, because we saw what one could do, imagine what another, if not many others could do. So, what brilliant title do you have for this one? Alien 3. Ha ha ha, no really, what is it? Alien 3. That wasn't a joke then. No sir, we'll make the 3 very small and in the corner of the title. Oh, so we're upping the ante by multiplying the army of aliens in the last film by 3? Actually, there's just one. Just one. Won't that be a phenomenal letdown coming off the last film? Well, this will be a kind of alien they've never seen before. Ah, like a queen alien but bigger? Like a dog. Excuse me? I feel like the people really want to see the alien as a dog. Well, I guess we've never seen the alien come out of another species. How is he different? He walks on all 4s. And I'm finished. Wow. So Ripley crash lands on this planet that's kind of a religious cult prison. Oh, what's their story? Unclear. Wow. And the queen from the last movie left 2 eggs on her ship. Wasn't the tube thing that allowed her to lay eggs ripped off? I don't know. Fair enough. So the face huggers try breaking into the pod of Ripley and her friends. Oh yeah, people really grew an emotional attachment to those characters. It'll be great to see them again. I killed them all. What? I killed them all. Bishop? I killed them all. Newt? I killed them all. Michael Biehn? Well, he dies in everything anyways. Well, that's true, but wow, won't people be upset? It's okay, I do it in a very tasteful way. Do tell. Well, we see Newt frozen in fear with a look of terror on her face. Sweet Mary. And the others will be mangled into gooey shards of flesh. Well, at least we'll get that painful moment over with quickly. Then they rip Newt open. Oh god. Yep, and Ripley watches to make sure there's no alien inside her. Isn't there a scanning device they use later that can just show you if there's an alien inside? Knock knock. Who's there? My back. It wants you to get off of it. Fair enough. So the alien kills off a bunch of forgettable characters who mostly look the same. Forgettable characters are tight, but they pour a bunch of hot lead on him to finally kill him off. Why didn't they just shoot him? Seemed to work in the other movies. Because they have no guns. A prison has no guns. Well, remember, it's a religious cult, so that somehow makes it safer. That's what I'm going with, yes. Wow. But then they discover Ripley has an alien inside her too. Oh no. Oh yes. They're gonna have to think super creatively about how to get it out of her. Actually, it'll be incredibly simple. Hardly an obstacle to overcome. Proceed. She just kills herself. That's it, she just kills herself. Well, Terminator 2 did recently, and that was a big hit, so I'm gonna do exactly that. Doesn't this make the previous movies completely pointless though? Well, where the other 2 films were about survival, this one's about how everything sucks and screws you over in the end. Like what we're clearly doing to the audience. Yeah. Sounds like a winner. You know this conversation sounds eerily similar to those pitch meetings they do on Screen Rant. Agreed, afraid we're ripping them off? No, I think it's an homage if we just acknowledge we're ripping them off. We'll just put a link here. Ish. Those videos are pretty funny. I'm insanely jealous of Ryan George's writing. So anyway, it sounds like we're at least bringing the Alien movies to a close. Oh yeah, killing off the main character mixed with the reactions we'll get from this, it'd be insane to keep these films going. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Alien changed the way we look at sci-fi horror. While there were certainly mature sci-fi horror films before it, they often had kind of a corny vibe, and most of them, not unfoundedly so, focused more on ideas rather than the monster. The ones that focused on the monster were usually over-the-top B-movies.
You like jazz?
No! Alien both focused on the monster and didn't focus on it, keeping it in the shadows and having the way it procreates be as terrifying as the monster itself. It was slow, patient, dripping with atmosphere, and above all, scary. Aliens was more than a worthy follow-up. Though having more of an action-themed focus, it was still intense, gory, scary as hell, and upping the nightmares with not just more than one alien, but an alien queen. Not only giving us a ton more of these monsters, but also one of the most kick-ass sequels ever made. Then they made what everybody declared the worst of the Alien movies at the time, Alien 3. God, how blissfully ignorant we were. Alien 3 was by far the biggest risk the Alien movies had ever taken. Yeah, I know the others are worse and make even bigger screw-ups, but following the heels of not only one of the best sci-fi horror films ever made, but also one of the best sequels ever made, this movie did not want to play it safe. On the one hand, I kind of respect that, trying not to get old and stale on the same formula. What I don't respect is somehow it still got old and stale on the same formula! How is that possible when he makes so many unconventional moves? Honestly, this isn't surprising as the movie was in development hell for a long time. The original sequel, believe it or not, focused more on Michael Biehn as Hicks rather than Weaver as Ripley, and was gonna be shot as 2 movies back to back. But the studio wasn't liking the script that had the simple sum up of the Weyland Corporation facing off with a military aggressive culture of humans whose rigid socialist ideology has caused them to separate from Earth society. Yeah, put that on a poster! The next try at the script involved the aliens coming to Earth and everyday people rising up to stop them, escaping a domesticated biodome city. The story and characters seemed dry though and failed to grab most people who read it. The next involved being trapped on a monastery satellite with monks. The one after that involved being trapped on a prison planet. Unable to choose and with time running out, they just decided, do them both. As well as change one big element back to form. Ripley had to be the focus. As the Fox president at the time pointed out, not only was she the face associated with Alien, but she was one of the few female action stars everyone could get behind. Nowadays there's a lot more, but back then this was kind of a rare and honestly profitable selling point. Weaver agreed, but only under one condition. Ripley had to die. She actually had no problem being a cameo in the other versions of the script as she felt the character would hold back where the Alien story could go. Thus they agreed that Ripley would be axed off so that new territory could be explored. Super worked. The story now was heavily symbolic, with the monks thinking that the alien was the devil, having them betray Ripley thinking she's the cause of all their misery, and Ripley sacrificing herself to save them all from evil. Sound familiar? Yeah, who hasn't read Siddhartha? An interesting idea, but being out of time and bleeding money, they started filming without a finished script and got newcomer David Fincher to begin directing. With all these different ideas that nobody was satisfied with, can we really be surprised we got an Alien sequel nobody was satisfied with? Well, let's take a look and see what the damage is. This is, I think everyone would agree, the unfinished Alien 3. You know a film's in trouble when even the Fox logo seems confused about what it's supposed to be. It's almost as if it realized it was in Alien 3 and was like, oh hell no, I'm getting out of this shit. The opening honestly sets the uneven feel of the entire movie, as we see an alien egg on board Ripley's ship trying to break open the cryogenic pod. This is going to be the last time we see many of these major players from the last film alive, but it seems more interested in showing who the costume designers were than what happens to the people you spend a whole movie worrying about.
Stasis interrupted.
Oh no, the alien's honor! Oh, good to know who designed the alien effects. Can you maybe cut back to the people I'm invested in? Oh my god, what's happening to her? Editing, cool, great. Can I see how you're gonna rip my heart out, please? Jesus Christ, it's on fire! I don't care who the director of photography is! If you came into suspense in your opening minutes, what chance does the rest of the movie have? No, please, don't you want to say who did catering? Who shaved Weaver's head? Who will be apologizing for Ridley Scott prequels? Gotta love that Apple II technology. Of the future! Why do I suddenly think the alien will make everyone die of dysentery? The escape pod is discovered by a group of men, as well as a fake-out. Mask! As we get arguably the most audience-pissing-off moment in the Alien movies, again for a while. All the characters who survived the last film, dead. Now, on the one hand, that kinda takes balls to do. I mean, this is still horror, a genre where you can kill off main characters by the end or even by the halfway point. And characters from previous films have died in sequels before, and it didn't seem particularly out of place. Yet, somehow this one does. I think a big part of that is not only did the Alien films elevate sci-fi monster movies, but it also elevated relationships in sci-fi monster movies. If the main lead in Psycho dies, she's kind of a crook anyway. If the main lead in Nightmare on Elm Street dies, she was honestly still a basic disposable teen. These are surprising deaths, but they still fit the tone and story they're telling. This doesn't. The almost family relationship that was being developed between Ripley, Newt, and Hicks had a lot of charm, yet still gritty realism. It's filmed so that we don't want to see these characters die, unlike a lot of other sci-fi horror films where you're just waiting for the victims to be picked off. Alien and Aliens were about hope of survival, even when it looks like there's none. Now, not only do we start off with a complete opposite idea, focusing more on a nihilistic approach, but it's done out of nowhere. We don't even get a goodbye scene. They're just dead. Christ, it was done during the credits! How would you like it if you found out you played a character in which a whole movie is based on you surviving and your death isn't as important as the producer credit? I'd be pissed! Something more in keeping with the movies would be maybe Hicks wakes up and dies by the alien later, guns a-blazing. Or maybe there was a malfunction in Newt's pod causing her to age, so you can still use the original actress, and for some reason you do need to kill her off, have her sacrifice herself to the alien to save Ripley, maybe inspiring Ripley to sacrifice herself later. You see how these choices are dark, but they still stay true to the tone the Alien movies created? That's what was needed here. It's not that they died, it's that it impacted nothing, insulting everything the previous films were trying to do. But hell with that, we need amazing writing that utilizes the laziest exposition line ever. That's right, as you know.
Here are the facts. As some of you know...
Wait, only a half explosion on that one. He did say as some of you know, which leaves a little wiggle room for horseshit.
The survivor is a woman.
So the setup is confusing, to say the least. Apparently this is a prison, but it's also a heavily religious prison, where there's celibate, there's no weapons, and the prisoners and guards see absolutely no problem with this.
This is a maximum security prison, and you have no weapons.
We're on the honor system.
Yeah, that was said as a legitimate line in an Alien movie. An entire prison is on the honor system. If you're in prison, you can't be trusted with the honor system. It's why you're in prison. Do they really think this is how jails in the future are going to work? Now, Harry, I want you to be kind to your new cellmate and don't kill him like you've killed dozens of people in the past.
Okay.
You killed him, didn't you?
I did.
Well, here is a beautiful woman to take his place. Do not have relations with her. You had relations with this woman, didn't you?
I did.
Well, feel free to roam around the prison, just don't do anything destructive. You did all those things I said, didn't you?
I did.
This prison sucks. So Ripley is woken up by a doctor named Clemens, played by Charles Dance.
The doctor?
My name is Clemens.
When you're on my watch, it's Clementine. Been working on that one for a while. We're very bored here.
What's that?
It's just a little cocktail of my own mix.
You know, maybe one of the reasons this world is so difficult to understand is everybody mumble whispers.
Better, I'll give you some clippers and you can attend to your private.
Here.
Fury 161. No indication.
What?
There's no sign of infection.
Just thanks for what you said.
What?
I just wanted to say thanks
Hello,
for
my
what
name
you
is
said.
Elena Grama. This poem kills like fish.
Here we are.
You attracted to me.
And I told Dom, too, because they've moved my desk 4 times.
Very direct.
I've been out here a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must make you nervous.
Christ, can you give us some sound?
Natural methane. We have a foundry left.
What?
The inmates for
What?
sheets for toxic
What?
waste. It's stenciled on the back of your shirt.
So yeah, that's the setting of the movie. Pretty simple, huh? One of the men, though, notices something attacked his dog.
What kind of animal would do this to a dog?
Bear, lion, alligator. Most animals would do that to a dog. Ripley insists on seeing Newt's body when she notices acid blood on her ship. I don't know what's going on, but you should really get her away from that corpse. Hi, I'm Newt. I'm still alive, and you saved me, Ripley. Get her away! Happily forever. Well, that was certainly rough to get through, but at least the worst is behind us.
You have to see inside of her.
Sweet whipped creamy Jesus. So, Newt's open, everybody. Aren't you glad you didn't stop at the second one? Look at all you would have missed, you psycho.
It's turned out all right. There's no sign of contagion in the body.
Good.
So, now that we've lost everybody watching, they decide to toss the bodies into the fire while the alien inside the dog starts to give birth. This is the end, my alien, the end.
Why are the innocent punished? Why the sacrifice?
Why the pain?
Mr. Dutton, you're going off script. No, I want answers for this damn movie. Why the sacrifice? Why the pain? So you know how this goes. The alien bursts out like a little dildo with teeth and over time grows big, or he's already the size of the animal he came out of. Dog aliens do that. And faster, seeing how Ripley was infected before the dog was. And they showed it usually takes about a day to burst, but his jumped out beforehand and hers still takes... Oh, how long did they say it would take the rescue to arrive?
Hopefully they will be here inside of a week.
And when rescue does arrive, that's when the alien comes out. Did some of these eggs miss school when the birthing process was being taught? Ripley shaves her head, and at the very least you might be thinking, though it's not better, at least this alien movie is a little different. Different location, different characters, even different hairstyle. Well, it quickly goes back to not just the alien formula we've seen before, but just the monster formula we've seen before. Ripley, once again, is the odd one out. In the first one, she's the stick in the mud, in the second, she's the crazy lady, and in this one, she's the woman in an all-male prison. Guess she has to prove herself once more.
You see, we've got a good place to wait here. And until now, no temptation.
Again, not to bring back old wounds, but how cool would it be if Newt was there? Again, you could say the pod was broken, so she's older, but she's been asleep through the aging process. So not only does she learn from Ripley how to grow up, but Ripley has somebody to talk to and maybe pass the alien ass-kicking torch to if something happened to her. Also, a kid is trapped in a prison. That ups the tension so much more. It's such a missed opportunity to do something different while still keeping true to the alien spirit. But nope, Ripley's just an outcast again, and instead of a person we got to know getting killed off first like in the other movies, it's just some asshole we've never seen like in every other film. Oh no, not some asshole! Prepare to meet your biggest fan! I'll be here all night because I'm gonna kill you all.
Dylan and the rest embraced religion.
So, seeing how the religion seems to be taken so seriously by the prisoners, it probably makes sense to really dive into how it works.
What kind of religion?
Some sort of apocalyptic, millenarian, Christian fundamentalist,
Right.
Hope you enjoyed that! The world building in this is about as steady as an elephant on a beach ball. Except if he fell, he wouldn't go out with a roar, he'd go out with a whisper.
Attracted to me
in what way?
What?
in that way.
Hey, my practically adopted daughter just died. Want a bone?
I really appreciate your affections.
Well, thank God this isn't a generic bad horror film, or else they'd both be marked for death. Oh, wait!
We've had an accident. One of the prisoners has been diced.
I have to go.
Oh, like all men. Wham, bam, thank you, prisoner who's been diced.
Who was it?
Murphy.
How do you know?
That's his boot.
I know all prisoners' boots. Don't judge, I'm trying to get help. Ripley fears the worst as she investigates her ship, while Clemens has a talk with the superintendent. I hear they're having steamed hams.
How would you like me to explain your sordid history to your newfound friend? Now sit the hell down.
Here, have a cup of hot Murphy. It's made with fresh eye of newt. Ripley then gets the idea to go looking for what's left of Bishop. Raise your hand if you know this movie's gonna bomb. Whoa, the Alita sequel does not look promising. Hey, what's the downside of having prisoners roam free again? I know I want rock music playing while horrific gangbang is about to happen. One of the prisoners named Dylan saves her as Ripley gets at least one good punch in. I mean, it was several feet away, but it was still a good punch. Hey look, 3 guys alone who we also don't know. I'm sure they'll be fine.
What the hell is going on with the candles?
Must be the wind for one of the van shaft.
Hello?
Hi, Wind. I don't know for sure, but I might finally have a role for you.
Oh, thank goodness. Do you know how many times in a movie they're all like, it's the wind, it's the wind.
Yeah.
But it never really is the wind, is it? It's always some big ugly monster that's too stupid to notice.
Well, this might finally be your big break, buddy.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank the Lord above. Oh, there's finally a job for me.
Oh, wait. No, sorry. It's a monster.
No. This is my time to shine. The wind will have its day.
Sorry, buddy.
I guess it's just you and me again, Area 51 weather balloon.
No one ever believes it's me. The alien Gallaghers their heads as Ripley figures out how to hotwire Bishop.
Ripley.
This isn't Silicon Heaven. I have to admit the effect on Bishop is pretty damn impressive, even by today. It really took me a while to figure out this was an animatronic and not a person. And even when you do figure it out, it kind of makes sense. It's a broken robot. It would move like an animatronic. But the downside is everything he says we already know. So the scene is mostly pointless.
Why were our cryotubes ejected?
Fire in cryogenic compartment.
Yeah, I know.
What started the fire, Bishop?
In the subflooring.
I know.
Was there an alien on board?
Yes.
I know.
Did it come with us in the EV?
It was with us all the way.
I know! I know. I got it. I got the concept. She does figure out that the Wayland industry is aware and they're probably coming for it. Here's a great edit.
Let's all report to the mess hall.
It's the, did I get a shot of the lens cap? Oh, who cares? We advent calendar Newt's body. Everyone's gonna hate us anyway edit.
Isn't there any way off of this place?
No. They are sending somebody to pick you up quite soon, I know.
What? They're just now telling her this? Oh yeah, you're stuck in a planet where a bunch of guys tried to force themselves on you. Oh, by the way, you didn't want to know if there was a way out of here, did ya? Well, I was gonna wait and tell you until after you left, but... And because this film likes to kill the only likable people in the series. At least let me die on the shitter being crossbowed by a dwarf. It's more dignified.
It's cool, baby. Just getting this shot for the trailer. And we're good. Let me know how Joss Whedon makes the next one even worse.
Ripley tries to warn everyone, but they find out themselves okay. Fuck! Ripley and the Doctor were like the only characters I remember in this film! What's our names again? So it looks like it's only Ripley and the prisoners who are left. Boy, this is gonna be intense given their last encounter. Or it's never mentioned.
You take charge.
I'm not the officer type.
The group wants Dylan to be the leader, but he's not interested. So he suggests Ripley.
Hey, sister, what about you? You're an officer. How about showing us a little leadership?
It's gonna take Fincher 3 more years to figure out what he's doing. We need a real leader!
I haven't seen one exactly like this before. Moves differently.
Oh, I hate moving differently!
The others were afraid of fire.
So they plan to trap it in the toxic waste disposal, displayed here like the entrance to a haunted roller coaster. But not everyone believes in Ripley, especially those who just a second ago believed in Ripley.
Why should we put our ass on the line for you?
Oh, maybe because literally 5 minutes ago you were suggesting that?
How about showing us a little leadership?
Why should we put our ass on the line for you?
What's that, Mother? Yeah, she does look like one of our stuffed birds. People reaching for things in horror films always live, right? Oh no! There goes that bald guy whose name we didn't know! There goes that bald guy whose name we didn't know! There goes that bald guy whose name we didn't know! Oh, the humanity! The complete lack of humanity! Ripley partakes in yet another tired horror film cliche. If you cough even once, ho-ho, bitch, you dead.
What is it?
Congratulations, it's an it.
What does it look like?
Like the penis of Jaws from those James Bond movies. Ripley's knowledge that there's one inside her causes her to start seeing it everywhere.
Oh, yeah, a pipe will kill me. That's the classic story, isn't it? Giant alien killed by metal pipe. Play a video game.
The real alien approaches, though, and they care so little about what happens to her, they don't even show her running away. Isn't that like half of what a horror film is, running away from the threat? She thinks because there's one inside, it won't hurt her, so she asks Dylan to kill her off. Wait, wouldn't it make more sense if she helped them first because that's her whole thing? She doesn't want others to die from it? Well, they do come to that realization right after this totally convincing fake out. Yeah, everyone will be talking about the epic way Ripley goes by random dude with axe. Alien 3, even you're not that stupid.
I don't like losing a fight.
They of course agree to hunt it together by, again, trying to trap it in a giant room and pour hot lead on it. Special effects budget slash in 3, 2. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now you might be wondering, how can this look so bad when the aliens from the other movies look so good? Well, I guess the idea was they were using blue screen keying so that the puppeteer could make it move more animal-like. If it was done today, a computer could blend the lines in a lot better and also color correct, but as is, it looks like someone starved the stop-motion Zool dogs and gave them vodka instead of water. You know, one of the reasons this climax isn't suspenseful is we have no idea where anything is. Granted, in the original, the people couldn't always make out where they were, but it was from their point of view, so that made it scary. Here, it's mostly from the alien's point of view. So if we don't know where he is, we really don't care. Is the alien close to being caught? Is he supposed to go down this way? The place is a maze, so any fear of where he is or isn't supposed to be is completely lost. You could literally show them anywhere and it wouldn't matter.
Is the alien behind you?
Yeah, where do I go?
Take a right.
Okay, now where?
Left.
Okay, now where?
Another left.
Okay, now where?
Right. Congratulations! You made it!
Oh, I can't like that.
They finally lure him into position when the obviously doomed person stays behind to be a sacrifice. I'm of course talking about Dylan.
I've gotta hold it here.
I guess technically the alien wouldn't chase Ripley, seeing how he has no interest in her, so Dylan uses himself as bait so the alien doesn't climb up. But that's not really how they explain it.
I'm staying.
Oh shit, we got a deal. Remember? It dies first, then you. I'm not gonna move without you.
What sense does that make? Why doesn't he just say the alien will follow me out so I have to stay here? I don't know. Fair enough. He gets eaten up as the lead is finally poured on the alien. But oh no, lead just makes him stronger. The sprinklers are dropped on him though, apparently blowing him to smithereens.
I need a vacation.
But Wayland shows up, played also by Lance Hendrickson, who's apparently too rich to wear a hazmat suit.
The company sent me here to show your friendly face, to demonstrate how important you are to us.
They'll also kinda send me in the past in a parallel universe. Who knows anymore with these movies? Ripley knows they won't destroy the alien inside her, even though they say they can take it out, letting her live. So she decides to take matters into her own hands. Or rather, T2's hands, but everybody's made that joke. They shoot the guy controlling the rig and I guess ran out of bullets because they never try again, and Ripley launches herself into the orange abyss.
Hey there, you got a movie for me? A worst mother ever!
Come on, you, get going.
Oh, come on, it's kind of funny. She was alive, now she's dead. It works on so many levels.
This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Well, that's definitely what the audience did too. Alien 3 was not a critical or box office hit in the States. I think a lot of that is because it kind of does the opposite of what a sequel is supposed to do. Rather than add, it takes away. It takes away characters, it takes away number of monsters, it takes away ideas, and therefore, it takes away our interests. Had the movie been more thought out and given more weight to the choices made, perhaps it could have worked. In fact, there's apparently an extended cut that did take its time more and tried to fix some of the problems. But it's still a messy production that resulted in a messy movie, whether it's the shorter cut or the longer cut. It's nowhere near the worst Alien movie, but it's nowhere near a good one either. I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember it, so you don't have to. Be strong, Wind. Be strong.
Apocalyptic, millenarian, Christian fundamentalist,